Jamie, Pelham Athletics Hall of Fame inaugural class, and the headliner, Clemson coach Dabo Swinney. Dabo, class of 1988.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a member of the inaugural class?
Well, I guess I'm repping the 80s and 70s. I think I'm the oldest guy here, so it's awesome. I mean, anytime I get a chance to come back home, I left here in the summer of '88 and 13 years in Tuscaloosa, and going on year 23 at Clemson. But no matter how far removed I get from Pelham, it's still home. And every time I come back here, it feels like yesterday that I was here. So many great memories, and when I left, I hadn't seen much outside of this area in my life, and I've seen a lot of the world, but I was prepared for my journey, mostly because of my experiences here in this little town of Pelham. My competitive nature, my coaches, my teachers, they all shaped me and prepared and equipped me well to go off into this life journey that I've been on.
You've been beating the odds your whole life. A walk-on, and you win a national championship at Alabama. You became the interim head coach at Clemson, and you've said this before, not many people thought you'd make it.
Yep.
You won 2 national championships. When you look back at your journey, what do you think?
I just think, God's had his hand on my life for a long time. That's what I think. I've had a lot of great moments in my life. Everything great in my life has come through team. My wife is a Pelham grad. We grew up together, first grade all the way up, and we're going on 31 years of marriage, and nothing happens without somebody else. And in my business, especially having a great partner in life like Kathleen, and just so many great people, teachers, coaches, mentors. Hopefully I've made some right decisions along the way, but everything great in my life has come through team. But just God's favor. It's been God's plan for my life, and I've just tried to honor him as I've gone about my business.
Dabo, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Go Panthers.
Under his leadership, Clemson has won 9 ACC championships, 12 bowl games, and 2 NCAA national championships in 2016 and 2018. With 180 wins, Dabo is the winningest coach in Clemson history and a 3-time Bear Bryant Coach of the Year Award recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring Dabo Swinney as a Pelham Athletics Hall of Fame inductee. Congratulations, Dabo.
All right. Wow, it's awesome. I had a lot of time to just sit over there, and a lot of memories coming back in my head. Appreciate all y'all putting this on. This is really special to me. Seeing a lot of familiar faces, but when I looked at the list, I'm thinking I'm gonna know a lot of people. First of all, I always thought you were really sweet and cute, Coach Richardson.
Didn't you ride? Didn't I take you from Valley up to Pelham?
Probably, yeah, at Valley. That's right. Yeah. But this is awesome. I looked at the list and I'm thinking, the school started in 1976, and I remember that like it was yesterday. As I had a much older brother who's here, Tracy, that started up here, and so I'm thinking I remember a lot of great people from the late 70s and then all through the 80s, but I guess I'm like the oldest athlete here, so I still feel like I'm 18, but I'm repping the 80s and the 70s. I guess I'm the representative of them, but this is really cool because I literally grew up here. I mean, Pelham is home. I was thinking about. I lived in the neighborhood just below the hill here. It was back when it was an actual farm. Bearden's had all the land out here, and I would walk out and I would climb up through the woods, and I would, you weren't supposed to go through the barbed wire fence, but I'd crawl through it, and because that was the shortcut to get to the high school. So if I was walking up here, I would walk, and then oftentimes I'd ride my bike and I'd pedal up that hill. You didn't have gears back in those days, like you had to really pedal. But I would always come up here. And my dream was to be a Pelham Panther. I remember watching Bo Jackson. In fact, Tracy, he threw it so slow, he struck Bo Jackson out. And I remember it like it was yesterday. But then Bo Jackson hit one to the Kmart. It was a Kmart in those days, but But anyway, I just remember being fascinated by these athletes, Bo Jackson, John Hand, who was at Sylacauga, coming over here and playing basketball and playing football, and he was one of my heroes and played many years at Alabama. So I have so many memories, but watching my older brother play, man, I wanted to play. And we didn't have baseball, so I would. My mom, who's here, my mom would take me, put me in the car. There was no I-65. We didn't have an I-65 ended up in Vestavia, so there was no I-65. So my mom would put me in the car, and we'd come out of this little neighborhood, and we'd turn left on Highway 31, and we would truck it. There was no river chase. It was just woods. And we'd run all the way up there and take a left on Patton Chapel, and we'd run all the way to the original Hoover Ballpark, which I think is maybe a softball park now or something, and I'd play baseball, and I'd play all summer. And then I played basketball. And then they finally started letting me play football, and I played my youth football as quarterback, and I played out here. We played our games on Saturdays in this stadium. And then I would come up on Friday nights, and I was the water boy in the 5th and 6th grade for Tracy's team. Steve Rivers, Philip Rivers' dad, was the head coach here at Pelham. And so I was the water boy, but I dreamed of being like my brother and playing for the Panthers. So, I mean, it was truly a lifestyle for me. I remember when this field house was built. I remember when we laid the sod on this practice field, which, like right here, this was our practice field. Or we would go up and we'd practice in the outfield. Remember it like it was yesterday. I remember when we'd get ready to play baseball, man, we would all get there, they'd rake the field, and then we'd all line up and we'd walk across. I was shortstop and pitcher. We'd walk across the field and we'd pick up the big rocks. All right, just to make sure they're waste. I have all these great memories from Pelham. I mean, it's a special, special place for me. It really is. I met my wife here. My wife and I went from the 1st grade. I went to kindergarten down behind the city hall, 1st grade all the way up Valley. Kathleen and I, we grew up together. We have so many sweet memories from Pelham. You go through our house and you see us. We started going together in the 6th grade. And you see us, pictures in our house and the 12-year-old Christmas dance at River Chase Middle School, or our homecoming pictures at Pelham, the prom with the butt cut at Pelham. And, and our kids have seen this their whole life, and we've always brought them back to Pelham. So, I mean, this place is really special to me, and there's a lot of great history from 1976. And I'm so thankful that y'all are doing this because you're capturing it. There's a lot of stories that need to be told. There's a lot of amazing people. A lot of y'all I don't even know. There's some amazing people that have come through here. I recruited 2 of these guys. I recruited Tyler. I recruited Lane, all right, to come to Alabama when I was coaching. So I've lived the Pelham dream, if you will. It's been an amazing journey. And I left here when I was 18. And when I left here, I honestly had not seen much outside of Highway 31, 119, and Valleydale and Bearden Road. That was kind of the extent of my life, all right? And I went to Tuscaloosa at 18, and I left when I was 31, okay? So I was there for 13 years. I'm going on my 23rd season at Clemson. And it's really amazing to me, the journey that I've been able to be on. My 17th as the head coach there. It's been amazing. Bobby Hayes introduced me to Frank Howard when I was a kid. Little did I know one day I'd be running Howard's Rock, running down a hill. So I've just had this amazing journey, but no matter how far I've gone, because I've seen the world now. I've been all over the world. I've seen a lot in my journey. But no matter where I've gone, Pelham has always been home to me. I'm always so proud to tell people that I'm from Pelham. I don't tell people I'm from Birmingham. I tell people I'm from Pelham. All right, and it's so awesome to me to see what has happened. I came in separate. I called Kath. I was like, you're not going to believe the drive in here. I remember when that road was cut in and they wouldn't let us, we'd try to sneak out and get down that road. They wouldn't let you go that way. Now it's the main entrance and it's lit up and it's beautiful and it's just awesome. This facility is so cool to see all that's happened here at Pelham. And I'm so proud of all of y'all. I'm so proud of everything that y'all have done. It's really, really cool to be a part of this with you. And I'm thankful for everyone to just creating this. All right? And no matter how far removed I get from Pelham, every year it keeps adding on. Every time I come back here, it's just like I never left. And I mean that. In 2020, I bought my childhood home right down the road. I rode by it before I came over here just to check on it. It was a dump. And I bought it and fixed it up, and we rent it to somebody with the police department every year. But I came home one day when I was 13, and my dad said, go clean your stuff out, we got to go. It was the only home I ever knew. And I didn't know at the time that the bank had taken our house. And I had not been in that house since the 8th grade. I bought that house in 2020. So, and I framed the deed, and I put my dad's picture in there, and it was kind of my, to the bank. And so, and it's framed, and it's, Kath let me hang it on the wall in my closet. But, so, you know, I still own a home here in Pelham. This truly is home to me. No matter where I go, what I do, how long I'm gone, Pelham is home. And some of my best friends to this day are my Pelham friends. I got Pelham people on my staff, all right? Lifelong memories, lifelong relationships have been established here. You know, in 2018, I got inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. That's what happens when you beat Alabama in a national championship. They just put you right in the Hall of Fame. All right? You beat them twice, they don't like you no more. But I went into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 2018. That was really cool. That was an amazing group of people, and to be a part of something like that with the Bo Jacksons and you know, Joe Namath and people like that, it's really cool. But you know, all those people, a lot of them they're not from Alabama. They went to school here or something like that. But this is cool because we all went to Pelham. We all went to Pelham. We all walked these halls. We all got stories. We all walked up and down that hill. I'll never forget it. You know, came down for one day to go into football practice, walked down the hill, and Kathleen drove a Cutlass Supreme. Y'all remember that? 1987 blue Cutlass Supreme. And I'm walking into the field house right here, and I walked by her car, and it's running. It was running all day since 3:30. So anyway, I just want to say thank you. My two oldest sons are here, and their wives, Will and Drew. My youngest son had foot surgery, so he's not here. My stepdad, Larry, my brother, Tracy, and Tammy, who's also a Pelham grad, and then my mom. I'll just tell you this, man. Somebody asked me a couple things back there about my time at Pelham, and I was sitting over there, and I'm thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, Pelham. You know, what I got from Pelham, the P and the E, passion and enthusiasm. I learned that nothing great happens in life without passion and enthusiasm. Passion is love. Passion is your heart. You know, and the Bible says, whatever you do it with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord. I learned that at Pelham. I learned passion. I learned how to love. Enthusiasm literally means, if you look it up, it means God within. I found a relationship with Christ in Pelham. February 3rd, 1986, I got baptized. All right? We started the FCA here at Pelham. We started it. I learned that if you have passion and enthusiasm, you can do great things in life. I learned leadership. That's what that L, leadership. I learned how to be a leader at Pelham. I learned how to be a leader. The H is hope. Pelham gave me hope. My coaches, my teachers, they instilled belief in me. I still remember going to see Billy Toehill, who might be the meanest man I've ever known. But this guy shaped me, man. He gave me toughness. But I remember going to see him because I said, Coach, you know, he was the head coach at TCU. He coached at Mississippi State. He coached at Tulane. He coached the old Vulcans. And I remember going to see him, and I asked him, I said, Coach, do you think I can play at Alabama? Because I knew he would tell me the truth. And he said, Dabo, you absolutely can play at Alabama. You can do anything that you set your mind to. And I said, well, will you call Coach Curry at the time? And he did. In fact, Rick Rhodes was on that staff. Next thing I know, I'm in Alabama. And later 3 years, got a scholarship, played on the national championship team. And then later on in life, beat Alabama in 2 national championships, and if it wasn't for a dadgum onside kick, we'd have beat them a 3rd time. I'm not bitter about it, though. But I learned hope. Hope. I learned that when there's hope in the future, there's power in the present to deal with whatever you got to deal with in life. And that's what I learned at Pelham. That's what I learned. And then I learned the power of attitude. I learned how to think. I learned how to think the right way. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. I learned how to dream big right here in Pelham, Alabama. I learned how to dream beyond my wildest imagination right here in Pelham, Alabama. And then the M, I learned how to make it happen. There's 3 types of people in this world. There's people who make it happen, there's people who watch it happen, and there's people who wake up at noon and go, what the hell just happened? I learned how to make it happen. All right? So I literally just thought about that sitting over in this chair. I was thinking about Pelham, but that's what Pelham means to me. All right? And I hope that y'all can, when you think about Pelham, I hope you'll think about that. This place is special. It really is. And I'm honored to be a part of this. This is really, really cool. And go Tigers and go Panthers. And God bless all of you.